At this year's dance marathon at Florida State, I met a young boy with stage 5 leukemia, aggressive. I can't help but wonder what may have happened to that young boy if he hadn't received the care in a timely fashion. The fact is, he may have died, living under a single payer healthcare system. As with any other upcoming presidential election, the debate on healthcare is at the forefront of our discussions, and this makes me want to discuss the issue of single payer healthcare, which I am strictly opposed to. It is obvious to you all why we need healthcare, why it is important, but I want to caution those who are in favor of the single payer healthcare system because the downfalls of it are truly devastating. I know this firsthand. I am the son of a mother who had breast cancer twice and the son of a father who recently had a very serious heart condition, and he shouldn't have lived, but thank God he did. I know how important it is to have health care, and most importantly, to have care that you can receive in a timely fashion and is the most effective possible. There are very many issues associated with single payer healthcare, but our own system has its flaws. But I will say that we must preserve our own healthcare system. We have superior healthcare benefits in our country compared to any other country in the world, and we can't jeopardize that. According to businessinsider.com, we have the most preemptive cancer screenings in the entire world and the greatest cancer survival rates in the world. The consequence of not standing against single-payer healthcare would mean leaving ourselves open to the dangers of not having that quality of care, not having the ability to receive care in a timely fashion. The reality of a single-payer system is that is what they're exposed to, and they have no choice to go somewhere else if their government can't even provide them the care to save their own lives. One can simply look to other countries like our own, such as Canada, who have a single-payer healthcare system that unfortunately is not doing the best job at providing care to its citizens. According to Vestopedia, wait times in Canada are often up to 4.5 months and have been known to be much longer. It's pretty obvious that many do not have 4.5 months to live, and there are many people in this country who, if they wouldn't have received care in a timely fashion, they would die. And I want you to keep that in mind as we further discuss single-payer healthcare. Now, we have to ask ourselves, what can we do to solve this issue? There are issues such as the cost of care in our country that we have to confront, but we also must preserve the benefits of our own system. I propose that we need to improve our healthcare system in the fact that our system is expensive. In fact, it's way more expensive than most places in the world. According to thebalance.com, hospital costs in the United States are 60% higher than they are in Europe, due largely to insurance companies. Now, we need a system that does both. We need one that provides fairly priced care, and we need a system that provides a high quality of care like our own. And what we need to do to make that a reality is to demand that change of our policymakers and to come to the table with those that we disagree with on single-payer healthcare. The reason many actually support single-payer healthcare is their belief that it is actually cheaper, but we have elements of single-payer healthcare in our own society, and it actually has proven to not be as cheap as they say. And this takes form in Medicare and Medicaid. The Balance stated that as Medicare and Medicaid was established in the 1970s, the demand for healthcare went up, which clearly drives up prices. But what this also did was had people relying greatly on hospitals, which we know also is much more expensive than having like a primary care doctor. And insurance companies took that as an opportunity to charge its customers much higher premiums. With that said, I want you to visualize what the consequences of living in a society with single-payer healthcare would be like. There was a man in the UK who had leukemia like that young boy, and he went and got his screenings, and he had to wait and wait and wait on treatment until one day he died. He had to wait for care for months and months on end, and it ultimately led him to his own demise. It's a sad reality, but we have to acknowledge the fact that in our own country, he would have had a fighting chance. Now, I want you to keep in mind these realities of single-payer healthcare as I conclude this speech. We've outlined the negative impacts of single-payer healthcare, but also identified what's wrong with our own American system. And it is up to us, as good citizens of America, to demand that we change this reality and take the benefits of low cost of care from the single payer, but also maintain our high quality of care in this country. We need to stop viewing the debate on healthcare as so politically polarizing as a Democrat or Republican issue, because that's not how we need to go about solving this issue. I want you all to respect the wonders of our own healthcare system, but to also realize that we need to constantly be changing our system so that it's always the best for the greatest amount of people. After all, we only have one life and we might as well live it. Thank you.